Firstly, the captain, the decision for him to go home, is that a bit of a indication of the burden that he's under? And
Yeah, it's obviously a burden, but a great burden captaining your country. So we just wanted to make sure he's fresh and ready to go for obviously South Africa and then the big summer ahead. So we've planned that for a long time. And he took some convincing, there's no doubt about that. But as a coach and selection panel, we're making sure he's fresh and ready to go each and every time he plays for Australia. So it was well planned and well thought out, and that's what we're doing.
It's unusual to midway through a series, and there's been a couple of people, including recent former Test captain, who've expressed some surprising concern. Were you aware of that before you made the decision?
No, we respect our former captains and former greats that have an opinion. There's no dramas with that. They're entitled to that. But we think it's the best for Stephen to get him right and ready to go. I think Stephen Moore said it's hard work, captaining all three formats. So for us, we're just making sure he gets a small break, and we're only talking an extra week or two. The first two games are in Colombo. That's why it sort of worked out this way.
Do you have to re-look at the T20 stuff? Maybe that is one thing you could take off his plate, or does he want to keep doing it?
No, he wants to keep doing it. We're very happy with the way he's leading the side. Obviously, the results, we'd like a few more wins, if that makes sense, here in Sri Lanka. But from our point of view, it's a case of making sure he's fresh and ready to go for each tournament that comes up.
What can you say about Davey's development, sort of, his personality development, his cricket development over the past few years, and he's been groomed now, vice captaincy, and now he's going to be captain?
Yeah, he's been fantastic, obviously. So we're really excited by that opportunity as well. If Stephen happened to get injured, then we need David to have some experience. So that's another opportunity for him. So that's important for us to get that experience. They're a great leadership duo together. And David's been exceptional over the last couple of years, coming through obviously some difficult times and now playing really well. Obviously we'd like him to make a few more runs in this tour, but having said that, the leadership, he did really well in the IPL side, so we're confident he'll do a good job for us.
You've got some selection issues there. Moses is one who's struggling to get a run at the moment, and there has been some debate. Travis has looked okay, and maybe he could go a little bit higher than 7.
Yeah, he's played really well, the young fella. So he looks really calm at this level. So really pleased for him. Moses has struggled, there's no doubt about that. But end of the day, the confidence here, the wickets have been a little bit challenging, especially last night. Batting second was tough work. But having said that, you've got to find a way. So whatever side we come up with, we expect them to do well, and we'll just have a look at the batting order as we normally do.
Would that be a possibility to get Trav up there with Steve heading off, leaving that number 3 spot vacant?
Could be, mate, yeah. But obviously we've got Sean Marsh and Usman as well. So they're quality players, and we expect to play better than we did last night.
Is there a reason that Sean didn't play the first two, given his form in the Test match on that difficult track?
Oh, look, obviously we went with the guys that did really well in the West Indies and won that series first and foremost. So for us, it's now a case of him or Usman coming into the side to replace Stephen, and I'm sure one of them will do really well. But no, it was just a case of Sean missed that one because of the birth of Austin, and then obviously the guys got first crack at it.
And what's the thinking with the change of wicketkeeper for the different format? Was Matt Wade not seen as a T20 player?
No,
the World T20?
No, he's certainly seen as a T20 player, but Peter Neville did a really good job in the World T20 for us. So he's the incumbent, and we've decided to keep him there for these 2 games.
What's your biggest concern at a game 2? I mean, obviously the 5th bowling option is something to look at.
The concern for me was the basics. I don't think we did the basics in any discipline well for the first time in a long time. We normally, 2 out of 3 we're not bad at, but last night we got blown away really in all 3 disciplines. So, the basics, if we do them well, we know we can compete and play well.
Are you learning a lot about blokes on this trip, particularly in these conditions?
Yeah, very much so. I think everyone is. Everyone's learning about themselves as well. So that's a great curve for us, and as long as we're learning all the time and getting better.
And Adam Zampa, 3 3-fers in 9 games, and particularly to get a 3 for here, it's a step forward for him.
Very much so. I thought he bowled really well. He got us back into the game. Last night I thought he bowled well in those backs, sort of 7 overs. I think he got 3 for 20 odd. In the back 7 overs, so got us back into the situation. I'd like him to catch well. That might help at some stage. So there's other parts of your game that you've got to improve, but his bowling's been very good for us.
What was the reaction of the group when you told them, when Rod or Steve told them last night after the game that he was heading home? Were they surprised? Or?
No. There's sort of inklings behind the scenes that it's been happening, and Rod told the lads, and now it's David's ship, and I'm sure he'll run it well.
Just can you tell us how Mitchell Stark's going? Obviously been a big tour already for him. Going to be involved in all 3 formats again. How's he travelling?
Yeah, we'll have to look at his sort of bowling coming up, but he's fine. As always, I mean, we had a couple of short test matches as well, so we just have to tinker around with the one-day setup, as we know. But he's been very good for us, so he'll be fine.
And Nathan Coulter-Nile, that was disappointing again that he's sort of hadn't got on the park.
Yeah, he got right through the test tour, and just the last little bit he struggled. So we'll see how that goes, and disappointing for him.
You mentioned the 3 disciplines there. Finchy dropped one and said he was looking into the sun, or appeared to indicate that, and Adam dropped a pretty easy one as well. I mean, I guess those sodas going down, that's something we don't really associate with the Aussie team.
Very good question, and correct.
Okay. Thanks, Darren.